Okay, so we've been at this just a few minutes, and you've got a Mac all set up. You're familiar with the basics of it, and you have address books set up to take your appointments. Excuse me, to keep your contacts and keep your client information. Stay connected with them. Now we need a calendar. This is right here, not iCal. This is the Mobile Me calendar that you can get to online, but of course it looks a lot like iCal. To get to iCal, I'm going to launch that. That is Quicksilver, by the way. At this point in the series, I'm going to start using the tricks and the techniques that I use to get stuff done faster, and Quicksilver is one of them. It's an application launcher. There it is. And I highly recommend you watch a movie on it and install it yourself. Anyway, here is iCal, and it's actually a very clean, functional, and snappy and easy to use calendar application. The reason why I have this open is because it also syncs with Mobile Me. If you've made your peace with trusting your data to Apple, then you set up Mobile Me, make sure when you go to Mobile Me, iDisk, you go to Sync, and make sure Calendars is selected, and it will take care of it for you, and your calendars will go every which way. So right now, this is the all Windows thing I showed you before. Right now, it's the default for squeezing the side of the mouse. It's another little productivity trick. iCal comes with, by default, comes with two calendars set up, home and work. So you can create things in different calendars. Now to create an event, it's very easy. You just click on a day you want it, and you enter the name of the event, and that is it. All day, when it starts, when it stops. You might want to. You can do this here, but there's a faster way to do it on the day view. I'll show you that in a second. Which calendar you want to put it assign it to. Maybe this is a work event. Whether or not you want an alarm. Now I'll show you the the preferences for iCal, which is the keyboard shortcut for preferences is Command, comma, and I'll use that as well too. Of course, they're right here. But what I did here was I put add default alarm to all events and invitations for 15 minutes before start time. So I checked that before when I was looking through it to see if anything was useful. And that's why it shows up with 15 minutes before. Of course, you can add as many alarms as you want with a message with a sound, an email, open a file, run a script, a little more advanced. Just make it a message, say 15 minutes, 15 days before, for court dates and so forth. You might want to put long periods of time there. Of course, you can move these things around. You don't have to keep it, where it pops up. You can drag it around a little bit. Attendees, this is cool. If you want to invite somebody, you click here and you just start typing. And as you can see, it's linked to the address book. So if I wanted to invite myself, I'll do that. And then I will add it if I want to add a file. I could click add a file. Or again, this is a lot of drag and drop with a Mac, so I could just go to the desktop. Oh, get it back open. Go to the desktop here like this, and just drag it over, add a file. See the little plus button, and then just drop it in there. And I can add more files. That if you're going to be talking about a file during the meeting, you may want to do that. So because I invited somebody, this thing's going to send an email, and we'll just let that go ahead and do that. And I have to warn you that this send an email feature will not work, and you will get a message if you have not set up your card in address book. Here's address book. To get to your card, it'll tell you what to do, but what it'll say is if you don't have an email address here on your personal card, it doesn't know where to send the mail from, so it won't work. But it's not a big deal. Just go to card and go to my card, which of course is grayed out because I'm at my card. But if I wasn't, let's say I was here, I go to card, go to my card, and then there you go, and then fill that in there. So filling out this information, your information on your card and in Word, and for the operating system, and also it's true for Acrobat. It really is a good idea to do it because the system makes use of that information and makes your life easier. So you may not want to blow it off. Now, so that's how you create an event. I'll show you how to create a calendar. It's also very easy to do. You click this plus button, and then you can have a calendar. Let's say, for example, this one was for billing. Let's say you want to designate one calendar for billing, and you wanted to enter something here, say like this. It's a new event. Jones file. I could enter, I suppose if it was me, I would just put 2 hours and not screw around with this stuff right now because the day is probably enough to bill it, but you could do whatever you wanted. Now, it's easy to change the dates and times inside of day view. To change this event, say I wanted to stretch it back to 2 o'clock, I'll just grab it and drag it. And there you go. That's in the week event. It functions substantially similar. Now here's something cool. If I wanted to create an event here on the home calendar, say on the same day, I just drag it out, the new event from where it stops to where it ends. It might actually be easier to make all these events in the day or week view rather than month view. And then you have a new event, so we have the, call it overlap. And then of course you click on those, you get the same little pop-up thing. But what it does here is it shows you there's an overlap, so you can see what, if you're keeping track of multiple people's calendars and so forth, which I'll show you to do in the next movie about sharing calendars. You can do that, and you can subscribe. It's not hard to do. So back in the month view here, I want to show you one more thing. This time here doesn't show up by default. You have to switch that. Show time in month view. That's the one last thing I want to show you with preferences. We'll close out of that. So there you have it. That's entering a event. That's the long and short of it. I'll show you what the invitation looks like. I just got it here. That's what it looks like. If I want to accept it and so forth, I click here, then I'll add it to my calendar. I'm not going to click on this calendar because it's the same calendar. Now, how well does this thing sync up with the internet? Well, let's check. They are all there. First event. Okay, here's the overlap. There's the Jones file. It's all there. Now you saw in real time, we just did this no more than a few minutes ago. And this is already synced up with MobileMe, which means once you have your iPhone going, it will come back it'll be in your iPhone as well, so you can enter billing information on the iPhone this way as well. Gets a little hairy to get it off there, but it's really not too bad. And I'll tell you what, it's a lot better than searching around the office for sticky notes. That's what I used to do. You write down hours here and there, and you stick them all over the place, and then every week you go try to track them down. So there's one more thing I want to show you about the basic functions of iCal, and that is the to-do items. Now I showed you with the mail, you can create a to-do item right from the mail. You can say, like here, you highlight it and you click to-do, and then you see it pops up right over here. Now you can do a lot of stuff right from here. If this is, depending on the importance of this, you click over here on this little arrow, and you can assign a due date, you can assign alarms, you can do all sorts of things. I click here and I go up and down with the arrow keys. Is probably a fast way to do it. You can set alarms, priority, make this high, let's say, and the calendar is work, billing, home, whatever. Now there's a lot of stuff in there that you don't necessarily need to do, but it's available if you like to. To me, it's this part is simple enough, and what I do is I always set myself a reminder an hour before event and a day before the event, and for longer stuff like court dates and so forth, I use like a week, a month, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter. It's always there for you. And there's their basic iCal, easy to use, very handy, and always available.